Welcome, everybody, to the Domino V12 session. This is what we've all been waiting for. Today, I'm joined by my esteemed friend and colleague, Francois Nasser, and we're going to show you a lot of what we have in store for V12. If you have any questions, please leave them in the webinar chat or post them to the HCL Digital Solutions Twitter handle and use the hashtag HCL Digital Week. Also, if you can join us for happy hour later between 2 p.m. Eastern, where we will be discussing low code and we'll be taking your questions live. So let's get started today. Today I'm going to assume the identity of Woodburn. We're going to do some demos in our Woodburn demo environment. So let me tell you a little bit about Woodburn. Woodburn is a medium-sized hardware supply company that's based here in Texas, but we do have a global and presence in Europe as well. What happened recently with everybody is the same thing that happened to us. COVID impacted us greatly. We did have some teams that were working mobilely, like our sales team, but we had to transform rapidly to move our employees to a work-from-home environment. This presented a great challenge. We had to get the latest feature set in a really short amount of time with minimal effort and do this in a really secure way, while also offering our end users the experience that they need to have and what they expect to have. So here's what we did. We went ahead and decided to upgrade to V12. So I'm going to start with a little demo here. We're starting with the upgrade of the Domino server. So we started with the V9 server. We are going directly to V12. We're not doing anything in between. What we're going to do is we're going to back up the INI file, and we're going to uninstall the version that we had before. This is not going to affect any of our data. While this is going on, I'm also going to set up a couple of features that I want to show you in the demo coming up. I'm going to set up two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication is one of the security methods that we're adding in V9 that is really important to our mobile workforce. We're going to show you Nomad Web. I'm also going to install Nomad Web. I'm also setting up Active Directory synchronization with password. The password syncing is the key piece that we're waiting for in V12, and now it's here. So what that means is our end customers, our end users, only have to remember one password, their Active Directory password. So as you see, we're wrapping up really quickly our Domino install. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to the INI. In version 9, we were still IBM. We just have to change those paths to HCL. And here we go. We're going to start up the server. And it should be very quickly, we'll have a V12 server for you. This is really critical at Woodburn that we can upgrade our servers very rapidly. This took us in real time about 5 to 10 minutes to do this. The last thing that we're doing here is we're just upgrading to the latest Mel template so that all of those templates are at a V12 design. We have made some changes to the V12 template as well as to the V12 client. So let me show you a little bit of a sneak peek of V12. This is the V12 Notes client. Everything looks very similar. Let me show you some mail. Yep, looks great. We've updated the design of the template. But what's really important here, one of the biggest changes and one of the highest areas of focus that we've worked on is our search capability. This is the best in breed search capability, and we're extending it beyond what it was before with a type ahead and a cast search. What I'm showing you here also is one of our traditional V9 apps that we had running without any modifications. It's running perfectly on V12. Let's create a new item here just to make sure everything works properly. The buttons are working, and here we go. We can see that we can create a new form. Excellent. So after that upgrade, everything worked great. So I do want to show you something really, really exciting. So I'm going to just take a quick moment and pause this video. What I'm going to show you here is Domino Nomad Web. What we're doing is we're starting this in an Outlook email. So I've gotten a URL link in my Outlook email. All I have to do is click on this link, and now I'm ready to install my Nomad client. But the first thing that you see is the two-factor authentication. So I'm using Authy, which is on my phone, to make sure that I have a code that's time-based. And if you see, it's going to expire in a couple of seconds, I put it in there. Now what's happening is I'm installing a Nomad Web client. This is a web-based client that we are using for application access here at Woodburn. And after this is installed, this is faster than any Notes client installation that we've ever had in the past. In real time, this is about a minute on a very high-speed network. And obviously, it is dependent on your network, but what we're seeing in our testing is that we're getting about a minute to get this installation going. So what you're going to see in a moment is it's going to start to connect to the server. And when it does that, it's going to start pulling down the information from the server locally. Now, what you'll notice that's very different from this startup versus a traditional Notes client startup is I don't need to know what my server name is. I went right to my ID. The password that I typed in was the password from my Active Directory. It's now pulling down policies. It is now validating the ECL just like a Notes client. And just like that, I am at my workspace. So what you see right here is we are in a browser, and I'm going to click on that Woodburn Digital Inventory app that I showed you earlier in V9. Well, we took a little bit of time and we've modernized it. So it looks great in a browser, and it functions just like it does in a Notes client. Here's one of the existing forms that we're showing you here. And you know what? I can even create a new one as well. And I can sort it just like we did in the Notes client. So it's got the full functionality. Everything is great. Everything is awesome in a browser. One of the things that I don't exactly show in this demo right here is the ability to take this into a PWA. If you're looking on the browser bar, there is a button that you can click there that will take this into a desktop full installation. You know, the other thing that you can still do here is you can still do mail. This is not what we want as our premier mail interface. We want this to be mostly for application usage, but this is a full Notes client in a browser. So I'm opening my mail file right now just to show you that, yes, this is the same mail file that I showed you in the v12 client, same exact thing. Here's the notification that I sent to do the upgrade with the URL, and it all exists there. If I want to create a new memo, I can do that as well. And what you noticed is that the workspace is the same as it looks in Notes client. This can be pre-populated with all of your applications. What I'm showing now is I'm going to switch over to Nomad Mobile. So now I'm on my mobile device. I showed you Nomad in a browser. Let's take it to my mobile device. Here we are on my iPhone. I'm right into Woodburn Digital app. This is the same application I just showed you in the browser, and now it's on my mobile device. And you know what? I'm a road warrior. I'm a salesperson, so I need to take this offline. So I can do that as well. As you see, we're looking at one of the existing documents. And what's really cool here is I can create a new item, and using the phone capabilities, I can take pictures, I can use GPS. So what I'm going to do here is we have some pulls here. We sell a lot of knobs and pulls here at Woodburn. So I have some inventory that I need to add to this document. Let me take a picture here. I'm going to use my phone. And just like that, I can use my phone device and take a picture. There's our knobs. These are the brass ones. People really like these, so they're very popular. And just like that, that is part of that, that document. So I'm going to go ahead and not save that just for the purposes of demo. But you can see that on the mobile devices, we've got some great capabilities that you can use as well. So I do want to take this offline. I need to get on a plane and I need to be able to work on this application not connected to the internet. Right now, I'm creating a local replica, and it just finished. This is encrypted and secure. Now, you know what? I don't want to type my password anymore. I want to use Face ID. So now I've enabled Face ID, and I never have to type a password to access my applications on my mobile device again. Let's make sure that works, and here we go, and it looks at my face right into my applications. This is amazing stuff. Our salespeople just love this on the road. Here's another thing our sales team really like to use. They love Teams. I think a lot of people have found some usefulness from Teams these days. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show how we can incorporate a Domino application right into your Teams. So I'm creating a team. I'm going to add the sales group here to the team. And to that team, I'm going to create a tab, and I'm going to add a URL. So as long as your Domino application is accessible via URL, you can add it to your Teams tab. So in this case, we're adding our sales catalog to the sales team that I created. And just like that, we have Domino applications embedded in Teams where the sales team goes to chat, and they have that right there at their fingertips. And yes, it is powered by Domino running in Teams. This is something that's really cool as well. So I'm going to kind of show you one last thing here. We're going to close out on Verse, and so Verse is our premier digital experience for a mail through HTML. And so what I love about Verse is that it's really intuitive. I can use the important to me bar to find things really quickly. It's got a very fast search capability. The type ahead is great. Sending an email is a breeze in Verse. The other thing that I really like about Verse is the calendaring capability. And one of the things that the Verse team has done a lot in the last couple of iterations is they've really worked hard on modernizing the calendar. So right from the calendar bar, I can create a new calendar. I can see immediately what meetings I've got coming up, what my day's schedule is looking like, and I can either create or join meetings directly from there. I can create a repeating meeting really simply. It only shows me the things that I need to see, when I need to see them to get what I need done rapidly. And one of the last things that I'm going to show here is a feature that I love. This is something that really comes in handy for me. I like to join Zoom calls. We all love to join Zoom calls, but sometimes you need to take it on the road. So what we've done is we've added a QR code capability where you can take your mobile device, point it right at your screen, and you can join your same time meeting with one click. So with that, I'm right into my same time meeting on my mobile device. There we go. And I can take this on the road, and I can take that meeting on the road with me. And with one click, I'm there. So there is a lot of awesome features in V12, and this is just a very small smattering of what we're going to show you, and we love it.
Thanks, Barry. If we can get back to the slides, that'd be great. Great, thank you. Barry, this was a great demo. And I got to tell you, looking at the questions and what's going on through the session, a lot of questions like, is the UI going to change? And your beard is great, and I should be growing a beard like you just to get the same great comments. But, at the end of the day, we got to remember, we are 6 months away from GA. So, yes, there's a lot of improvements we're working on, but I still can't believe how many capabilities this development team has added in such a short period of time. So now, let's talk about what this means to our customers from a benefit perspective. So Barry showed us how upgrading a Domino server is a snap. Look, no other platform with the richness of Domino can be upgraded as fast. Think of any other app dev platform where the simple thought of upgrading means you have to worry about the application server, upgrade the web server, the database server. And you know what? Let's not forget the pain of testing your applications can still work with all these new database servers and web servers, not with Domino. Our motto, no application left behind. When you upgrade your Domino servers to V12, to your applications, they will continue to work no matter what release you came from. We at HCL, we put a lot of effort in ensuring that the apps that run your business never disrupt yours. So let's talk about the client. First, we won't take your Domino applications where you work, the browser. Second, we want this to be the last time that you have to do a client upgrade. This is why we are introducing Nomad Web. The administrator simply selects the users they want to upgrade. Users, no matter what mail client they're using, simply get an email with a link, and Nomad Web configures itself, including mirroring your existing Notes workspace and your applications. You may have not noticed from the demo, but did you see how fast the client was upgraded? And did you notice that the new Nomad Web client launches 4 times faster than the traditional Notes client? All of that with no loss of functionality from the traditional client. That's just awesome. Now, remember Nomad Mobile was introduced, back with v10 for the Apple iPad. Since then, we've added Android devices and key capabilities for the phone form factor. Now, with v12, we are taking Nomad Mobile further. We're leveraging key native capabilities, biometrics that Barry showed you. And we're also introducing new development features where we can leverage GPS, your camera, storage, that we really first enabled in v11. Now, your apps work when you're on the move, connected or disconnected, all from a familiar interface. Your users will love the freedom. Now let's talk about your applications. Domino applications are critical for your business. These apps have been running for years, serving your business processes and really delivering results. The servers have been rock solid with security that others can dream of. But in a lot of cases, these apps were developed a long, long time ago. Centuries in IT speak, right? With v12, you can give your users freedom with Nomad Web and Nomad Mobile, and it's really time to bring these apps to modern times. So, how do you do that? Well, first and foremost, use your corporate UI standards and start applying minimal UI changes to your existing Domino apps. Things like rounding off the edges of your fields, maybe moving your menu items, and leveraging the great new icons we're introducing in v12. Maybe add some colors to enhance the user experience, and you can see the difference. Giving your users a better experience, eliminating that risk of breaking your business logic when you have to maybe rewrite the app at really what we would call a fraction of what it would cost. Just make business sense. And oh, by the way, you could build something new and leverage your existing data with Domino Vault. I love this picture when everyone just gets along. Only thing is missing, actually, is a cute little mouse hanging out with them. But you know what? I digress. So, one other thing that maybe you haven't noticed in Barry's demo. In v11, we introduced synchronization of users and groups between Domino Directory and Active Directory. With v12, we're taking this further by synchronizing the passwords as well. Users rejoice. Your intranet, your Salesforce, and Domino passwords are all the same. And now you can use your corporate process to change your password in AD, and Domino takes care of the rest. And this works across both Nomad Web and Nomad Mobile. But you know what? Password sync is not the only harmony we created. Did you see the application working inside Teams? Think of the possibilities of not just being able to chat about an image, but literally interacting with the applications while you're working with your team live. And no, we have not and will never forget that we use Domino as a secure mail solution, and it keeps getting better. The same name and password thing that we have applied to apps also apply to Verse. Gorgeous user experience whether you're on mobile device or on a browser. And of course, because it runs on Domino, the lowest TCO of any other mail service. And by the way, search in Verse has always been just awesome when it comes to accuracy and relevancy of the results. With v12, we supercharge it with amazing speed using the latest cache technologies. This week, we are announcing SameTime v11.5, an amazing, fast, and secure chat and meeting experience. Definitely, please make it a point to attend Guinea's and Luis's sessions later to see and learn more. But how do you like that integration with Verse? How often have you been on the move, needing to leave your desk just when the meeting is starting, and having to go open your mail client, navigate to your account, and click the link? No more. We have solved this as well. Look, we continue to be committed to our strategy that we set out for you over the past 2 years. We continue to deliver on our commitment. Having delivered V10 and V11, Domino is all about apps that run your business. Workflow is what keeps business moving. Domino continues to lead the workflow app dev platform. We are taking this concept further, giving every business user the ability to create workflow apps, integrating with both Domino and enterprise applications. We believe in the security and privacy of your data and applications, but we also believe in the value the cloud brings to our customers. This is why cloud-native Domino takes all the benefits of Domino and aligns them to your cloud initiatives with automation and cloud integration. And of course, delivering all of these great capabilities to the end users while they are on the move, disconnected, or at their desktops seamlessly. We believe V12 delivers. So with that, Barry, it's really time to geek out, my friend. Go for it.
My favorite time. This is my favorite time besides the demo is the geek out time. So let's talk about, some of the things that Francois mentioned here, your business, your data, your cloud. One of the things that we want to make very clear is that we will run on any leading container platform from Azure, AWS, GCP, and we'll also talk about cloud native as well, our journey in the next slide. The second thing that we're doing is backups reimagined. One of the biggest blockers for your upgrade is third-party certification, and backup is one of them. So what we're trying to do in V12 and what we will do in V12 is make sure that we're going to change the way that Domino does backups. We're going to change our API so that we're compatible with every vendor out there and you don't have to worry about certification. So that's a big deal. And finally, simpler security deployment. We're going to maintain the ID and the ID vault for non-NRPC clients. So what does that mean? That means if you're using Verse or a web-based UI for your mail, your recertification, your renames, anything like that will still occur. And we're going to auto-deploy ID vault because that's the backbone that makes all of this work. And one thing I do want to point out is that cloud hosting, we have a very great partner program that will host our software for you across the globe. So please check out our cloud hosting partners as well. So let's kind of talk about Domino's native cloud journey. So I'm going to talk about, on the left, you see what is today. We have our on-premises installation, and we have our Red Hat UBI, which is our Docker installation. And those screens that you see, those are the install panels that a person would have to click through to go through the installation process. For V12, we're going to have a simple JSON configuration. What that means is you'll have literally a one-click installation. This is amazing for new installs, to have consistency across your environment, to have specific patterns for, types of servers, whether admin servers, mail servers, application servers, SMTP gateways. You can specify all of the configuration with a single click. What we're doing with Project Quattro is we're adding the operator add server from a OpenShift perspective, and also from a Kubernetes perspective, we're adding deploy server. And as you see post Domino V12, we have Sophie on our roadmap. And Sophie is an easy way to deploy HCL software products and REST API services as Docker containers to Kubernetes. So we will also be able to take advantage of Sophie. So let's kind of deep dive into Nomad Web. This is one of the big wows. We've talked about this, and now we showed you how cool this is. Let's talk about how we got there. This is literally a game changer. And as Francois mentioned, this started in 2018 when we released Nomad for the iPad. That was how it all started way back in 2018. And here we are. We went from the iPhone and we jumped to Android. And when we went to Android, we had to port to OpenGL. And once we ported to OpenGL, that allowed us to go to WebGL. And WebGL combined with WebAssembly is what you see in the WebAssembly Nomad. So what's awesome about this is running in a browser. This is a C+ code running in a browser. You can run multiple instances in the browser, and this will run on any platform that these browsers are supported. So we're opening it up to Windows, Mac, and Linux as well. Very exciting. So, you know, we talked about Nomad. We showed you Verse, and pretty soon you're going to start to see a lot about chat and meetings. It's really exciting stuff. And what we've done is we've made all of these into their own PWA. So they have their own web and desktop web assembly client as well. And as you see on this chart, eventually what we would like to do is have a single integrated user experience that's role and outcome based that will show you what you need to know based on where you are in your day and what you're trying to do. This is really exciting, and this is I can't wait to see all of this come to fruition, because this is going to really simplify your day in terms of where your attention is and keeping your attention in one space, but allowing you to have access to all of these capabilities. Security, as always, Domino, one of the most secure platforms on the entire planet. So what we showed you is the time-based one-time password authentication, the two-factor authentication out of the box. It just works. And you can use your favorite app. Doesn't have to be Authy. We showed you Authy. You can use Google Authenticator, any other authentication type of app can be used with this. And Let's Encrypt. This is going to be free of charge. There's no need to copy files to the server. This is literally a single click type of installation to create and manage your keyring files. So really simplifying the process. So we focused on security as well. And to the mobile device. So today we are, it is available on iOS, a biometric passcode. So it just requires that your device has a passcode and the ability to have Face or Touch ID, and you need to enable the admin setting with the default to true, and we will have this on Android soon. So this is something that is just really great and makes accessing your apps on your mobile device that much easier. So let's talk about Designer. You know, Francois talked about modernizing your applications, and he talked about some simple steps from a business perspective to take. Well, what are we doing in V12 that we're going to enable you to do this? So we're really looking at the Designer in V12, and we've got a couple of focuses. We've got mobile as our focus, and so let's talk about some of the new functions that we're introducing in V12. So these commands, they're going to allow you to set the user experience based on the device. So, you know, based on the end user experience, if they've got an iPad or if they've got an iPhone, you can customize that experience for them. You can also customize the order and the sequence that the frames are laid out for them based on their mobile device and their screen as well. This will also, we also have an app platform specific Lotus script capability, and that will allow you to make the programmatic decisions based on the frame sets, the form layout, based on the device as well. So all of this is coming up in V12 because we understand the importance of the mobile device to your organization. So we showed Verse, and you know, in Verse 2.0, which was earlier this year, we released the capability to run Verse as a progressive web app. And really the benefits of Verse are the TCO, the end user experience, and just the native capability to run in a browser anywhere without any kind of installation. One of the things that we'll also be doing for V12, we'll be extending the two-factor authentication to this here as well to our Verse experience. So, and we're also going to try to make this, we have an intent to make this the default mail experience in V12. So out of the box, you'll be starting with the beautiful web mail experience. So, we talked about in the V12 Domino Designer what the capabilities that we're focusing on mobile. We're also going to provide support to high design elements from the mobile client. We're also going to modernize the icons that you have. So this is a really big improvement over some of the icons, the list styling, the options, the field types that are available today. And so we're going to give you a brand new palette to work with. And we're also looking at a design book so that you can take the lessons that we've learned here at HCL and apply that to your own applications in your organization. And finally, we haven't forgotten about X Pages. We are going to upgrade to the latest version of Bootstrap so that all of your X Pages apps can still continue to be brought forward into the modern era. So that leads me into Domino Volt and Domino V12. This is really exciting stuff. And you've seen a lot of sessions today about the workflow canvas, the mobile capabilities of Volt. And so what are we doing in V12 to support the specific Volt and Volt for Business capabilities? So what we're doing, as we showed earlier, the Domino one-click server install. So if you are not a Domino customer, well, you can have a Docker container with Volt installed, Domino running in the backend. You don't need to know that it is running on top of Domino. It will be installed in one click, configured specifically for Volt. The other thing that we're doing that's actually really exciting is we're going to be building a brand new web UI for quick user management, user and group management for Volt for business specifically. So this is a way where you won't have to go and open a full Domino admin client. You can make additions to your user groups, your users, add, remove, delete, make updates very quickly with a very beautiful and modern web UI so that anyone using Volt or Volt for Business can do so without having to really know anything about Domino, the Domino backend capabilities, and a Domino admin client. They can just get started right off the bat. So just want to go ahead and wrap everything up and show you visually all of the things that we've talked about, because we have talked about a whole lot. And as Francois noted, we are 6 months away from 12. So this is the very first preview. We will be adding features and functionalities to this release as we go up to the release. And some of the things that you saw today, we are actually showing in our early access program. So we invite you to participate in that as well. So let's go through our summary slide here. We've got our business workflow for everyone. That is the Domino Volt workflow integration with UX and backend integration with all of those wonderful services that you know and love and probably have in your environment. We have our simpler security deployment. So time-based one-time password, two-factor authentication, and the one-touch SSL and TLS configuration. Your business, your cloud, your data. Domino Cloud Native, running anywhere, AWS, GCP, Azure, anything, anywhere you want it. We've got our cloud hosting partners globally hosting our software. If you don't want to run this on-prem, they will gladly do this for you. They are experts in that area. We've got our database backups Reimagined. This is going to be a really big thing to help you upgrade immediately. You don't have to worry if your backup software is compatible with V12. We guarantee it will. And better app experiences, zero footprint apps in a browser. This is a game changer. Think about how nice this will be for your end users to click on a URL and access their apps immediately. And the new desktop mail and chat experiences. These are things that we've been working on and continue to improve the experience as we go. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for joining today. Thank you, Francois, for helping me out today. We've got to show you some really cool stuff. We want to invite you to participate in our Nomad Web beta. So please go and sign up for that. The beta will be starting soon. So go sign up for that. We've got our early access program. We actually just had our November drop today on FlexNet. So if you are a current Domino customer and you are on FlexNet, you can find our early access program there today. That is the November drop. And just a quick reminder, upgrade to V11 if you have not done so.
Thank you, Barry. And thank you, everyone, for attending. It's been great. We hope to see you on the next few days at other sessions. And for now, we will say goodbye. And all your questions that you've asked, Devin is recording them for us. We're going to get back with you. We're going to answer those questions. And, of course, we're going to have several Q&A sessions moving forward where you can ask your questions again as well. So for now, thank you very much, and goodbye.